guys, so it's morning time here, and I'm speaking a little low because the kids are still asleep and I don't want to wake them up quite yet. But my mind has been just going a million miles per hour this morning. I was trying to go back to sleep, but I just couldn't. God was just giving me so many different thoughts this morning. And rather than get on camera, I'm just going to have you guys listen to me. Because I feel like this message is so important for us to know and learn and just think and ponder about. God was just putting so much in my heart this morning. And I was thinking about Titus chapter 2, I believe, is where it all starts. And this has just sparked so many different feelings and thoughts inside of me. I just have to get them out. In Titus chapter 2, it's talked about how the older women and older men are to teach the younger women how to lead godly lives, how to, take care of their families and be godly wives and loving their husbands and just how to live a godly life. And I was thinking about the world today, and when I was sick, I actually did a video on this, but I coughed all the way through the video, so I haven't posted that video yet, but I need to. But in that video, I was saying, and God was just putting in my heart this morning, that you used to be able to go to an older woman or an older man that was, let's just say in their even 50s or 60s or 80s or whatever the age may be. And maybe you're in your 20s and you're seeking guidance and wisdom. You would have been able to get that guidance and wisdom that you were seeking. But I look around me now today, and the older men and the older women are trying to keep up with the younger women and the younger men. They're dressing younger. They're talking younger. It's crazy. The men have their the older 60-year-old men have pants hanging off their butt. The 50, 60, 70-year-old women are wearing booty shorts, and it's crazy. Shirts that are low enough to see everything, see-through shirts, tight clothes, They don't talk like they have any wisdom. You can't go to them and ask for any sort of wisdom because they don't have it to give, because they're trying to keep up with the younger crowd. And I'm not saying that I'm the oldest woman or the wisest woman in the world, but I can say without a doubt God has made a huge, tremendous change in my life. And the one thing that I've learned in my 30 years of existence is you've got to keep God first. And if you don't have God first, you don't have anything at all. I mean, I don't care what you get in this world. You can get $1 billion. You can have the best husband you could ever wish for, the best wife, the best children. But if you don't have God, you don't have anything. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to have a purpose. You're not going to have fulfillment. You're not going to have peace. You're not going to have joy. And it's so sad to see the many people that are just going through the motions of life, that are just waking up every day and just going through the motion. I think about that all the time. I think about, why are we here, God? Why are we here? And it makes me so sad to see so many people just wasting their life and their time away while we are here, the short period of time that we have while we're here. And they have no existence at all. They're just going through the motions, waking up every day, going to sleep, doing the same exact thing every single day. And God has really opened my eyes to that. He's really opened my eyes to the possibilities of the life that we could have when we have Him. And they're endless. The possibilities are so endless. And the peace and the joy that you can have surpasses anything. And although we don't want to go through the troubles of life, although we don't want to go through the heartaches, we're able to go through those things through those things that would totally and completely break somebody down who doesn't have God, because we have God. And we're able to find him at the end of the road, no matter what it is that we go through. And I'm talking about no matter what it is that we go through. And it's something that we need to be teaching our children. In a world that's full of corruption, they're growing up. You best believe they're growing up with corruption, even in their schools. As young as my son is, my youngest son is 7 years old. He comes home and tells me how the kids are at school. And it's not good, because they don't have parents that are teaching them to be in the Lord, to have a relationship with God, to even clean up their rooms, to have responsibility or anything. Their parents are not teaching them these basic principles of life. And it's so sad. All they're throwing at them is a cell phone and an Xbox to get them out of their hair, so that they don't have to be bothered with them. And I couldn't believe the music. These two girls, they couldn't have been older than my kids, probably about 9 or 10. And they were riding around those hoverboard things. They're like automatic skateboard looking things where they stand on them with their 2 feet and they're able to go backwards and forward with them. And they were listening to music that was talking about, I can go so deep inside of you, and talking about sex and stuff. And these kids were no older than my children, on their cell phones, just riding around on their skateboards, no parents in sight. It's crazy, guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. We've got to stand for more than what we're standing for in this lifetime. It's easy to live in this world and not give a care about anything, It may be a little bit harder to live a life for God, but it's worth it. It's rewarding. You have a purpose. You have a meaning. If you look at the Bible, Matthew, Mark, Paul, David, Moses, Abraham, you look at these men's lives, you don't see that nowadays. You don't see men and women living lives like you see in the Bible. In order to have a Paul, in order to have a David, in order to have an Esther, in order to have a Sarah, you have to have a life that is after God. You have to have a life that's seeking God, detached from this world, putting this world behind you, putting this world away from you, in order to become an Esther. I hear so many women, oh, I want my Boaz. I want my Boaz. I want to be like Esther. I'm going to be a queen. I'm a queen. I'm a queen. But their life betrays nothing that it takes to be an Esther. I'm sure it was so hard for Esther to sacrifice everything to become the woman that the king was seeking. But she did it in order, and Esther became a woman who saved her people, who saved a nation. How are you going to become a queen like Esther became if you're living the life that the earth has called you to live? If all you care about is you, it's crazy. Or, man, I want to look like I'm about to be 50. I don't want to be 50. I want to look like I'm 20 years old. I want to look like my 20-year-old daughter. And you've got moms that are completely jealous of their 20-year-old daughters, that treat them like nothing because they're so jealous of them because they want to be like them. It's sad. It's so sad, when you should be teaching your daughter how to be a godly woman, how to be a godly wife, a godly mom someday. If you have if you are a woman, if you are a woman, I'm sorry, a wife, if you are a mom, you're blessed. There are so many women that want to be wives, that want to be moms, but can't find a husband. Have been praying for a husband for years. You're blessed. And then I see those women treating their husbands like they are nothing. Putting their husbands so low, so down. Oh my goodness. And then the men can't even be leaders to their wives, to their children, because they don't have a relationship with God to be leaders. They don't know what that looks like. So they allow their wives to treat them like they're nothing. Sorry, that's my refrigerator. And for their children to treat them like nothing, to talk to them anyway. No, men, you guys are the leaders. You guys are supposed to lead your household. But it takes you to have a heart and a life after God to even lead your husband. To lead your wife, to lead your children, to teach them. Guys, we've got to do better than what we're doing. Goodness. So I encourage each and every one of us to turn that TV off. There's nothing but junk and garbage on it anyways. Turn that raunchy music off. Open that word and get serious about our relationship with God. I have not found any more peace or joy than I find when I open up that word, and in mornings like this, when I've opened up my heart and my mind to what God wants to tell me. You know, what He wants to open my eyes to, what He wants to teach me. That's what God desires, a relationship with us. And if we'll only open our heart to Him, He can teach us everything and anything that we need to know, surpassing it. There's no way I can come up with half of the stuff that I come up with. It is God who teaches me. It's God who opens my heart to it. But it took me to have an open mind and heart to Him, in seeking Him, in wanting Him more than I want anything else in my life. I love my husband and I love my children, but my relationship with God comes even before them. That's what comes first. That's what comes first. And if there's nothing else that I want in this world, I want God's Spirit. Don't take it away from me, God. I pray that prayer daily, because I don't want Him to take Him away from me. That's the one thing that I cannot live or do without, is Him. I love my Father so much. And I don't want to be without Him or His Spirit. And that's where we need to get to, guys. And you'll be so fulfilled. You'll be so happy. You'll be so joyful. You'll be so peaceful the moment you give your life to Him. The moment you give your all to God, seeking Him first. You're going to be nothing but blessed by it. Make the decision. Make the decision to give it all to Him. I'm telling you, there's no amount of money, there's no amount of anything that you can get on this earth that will equal to Him. There's nothing. There's nothing that you can receive. Like I said, you can have the best husband, the best job, all the money you could want, everything that you could want on this earth, the best car, the best house. But it's not going to equal happiness. It's not going to equal anything unless you have God, unless you have the Holy Spirit guiding you and leading you. You've got to have Him. You've got to have Him. Or else you have nothing. You don't have anything. Anyway, guys, really think about what I said. Open up that word. Give your life to God. Press into Him with everything that you have. And you won't regret it. I love you guys. Hope you guys have a good day. Bye.